Hello AWS, how's it going? اوكي النهارده انا عايزه اكلمكم على كلمه انا عمري ما سمعت عليه غير لما جيت على كندا. See, the Arabic's kind of kicking in now, okay? So, but please don't judge me. I know my Arabic is all over the place, so just bear with me, okay? So, this word is called stress. And what's funny is that, to be honest with you, I know from my accent you might think I lived in the United States or Canada my whole life, and I have not. I lived in Egypt, I lived in Europe, and while I was growing up, I never heard of this word, ever. The word stress. I mean, obviously it's in our vocabulary, we've heard of it, but to be stressed for me before I came to Canada meant that I'm having a bad day. Okay? Stress. يعني أنا حاسة بالستريس دلوقتي. You know, I wouldn't say that. You just say, you know what, أعصابي بايظة أو مش عارفة أنا مكتئبة شوية النهاردة. عايزة أضرب حد بالجزمة كده يعني. You don't really feel stressed for a long period of time. And it's funny, but you know, back in Egypt, or the way we would handle our stress is بنتكلم. You know, I'd call my mom, أو بكون على القطر on my way from Alexandria to Cairo, and I'd sit down next to somebody and she'd be like, ازيك? And I'm like, والله يعني الحمد لله. And you're like, okay, انتي شكلك مش مظبوطة. Even if she doesn't even know me. And we'd sit and talk and talk and talk. And in 2 hours, I would have, you know, psychological therapy for free. And I'd feel much better. So that's how I would deal with my quote unquote stress when I was in university. But here I learned a lot after being a mom, after being married, after growing older. I learned of this word stress, and it's not only stress. There's another word called anxiety, and that's terrible. It's even worse. It's like a long-term thing. I mean, stress is actually a short word for fear. When you know anybody's stressed, you're just like, okay, this person's kind of fearful, right? So today we're going to talk about the stress and what we can do about it if you're feeling it every single day. One thing we need to consider is, look, there's something that may be missing in your life. And I'm going to give you an example. I have a confession to make. I suck at making food. Okay, no, okay, calm down. I know you're about to kill me. Especially if you're Egyptian, just like, يا دانا الفول ده أسهل حاجة ممكن تعمليه. I know. Okay, don't even go there because I'm very sensitive about this. Especially if you love the kitchen as much as I do. You always see my posts about food and about good food and about junky food. I just love food, okay? بس بصوا بقى. أنا الفول, every time I make it, جوزي مصري, he loves food, okay? I don't make it right. He دايما بيقول لي الحمد لله حبيبتي في حاجة ناقصة. يعني ايه في حاجة ناقصة؟ مفيش حاجة ناقصة. Like literally sometimes I feel like telling him, okay, بص بقى, لو في حاجة ناقصة, there's the kitchen, you just go make it yourself. Just kidding. I love cooking, okay, so it's not about that, but it was very frustrating that there's something missing. What's missing in the food? So finally, Lily, my buddy, after talking to many people, I tried everything, okay? Everybody told me the same thing. كمون, ملح. Some people told me maya, some people said no, but I tried both. ليمون. Did I say ملح وفلفل? No فلفل. وممكن في الآخر تحطي شوية, you know, بقدونس or something like tomatoes, some طريقة اسكندرانية, I have no idea. So I tried, okay, but Lily, my buddy, sat me down. She's just like, okay, number one, and I'm not, Lily, I'm not going to give your secret recipe away. Okay. I'm not, ladies. It's really good. And I was so thankful because no matter how, honestly, like, I mean, I'm joking about it now, but I really felt this thing at the bottom of my stomach. Every time I made fool, something's missing, and I kept trying and trying and trying and trying and trying until I was this close to giving up, and I'm like, fucking get lost. I'm not making fool about all بيض. ماله البيض, okay? وماله السيريال, you know? ما احنا في كندا دلوقتي المفروض تاكل سيريال. So it was really funny, but I didn't give up, funny enough. And I finally tried Lily's food, and it was great. He loved it. And I was so thankful that I finally knew how to make food. So, the food اللي ناقص, اللي فيها حاجة ناقصة, okay, is something that I'm setting as an example of what's missing in our life. So, when you're missing something, you will definitely try to run away from what's missing, okay? So I kept myself busy with the food. بقول لك ايه, تعال نروح على كورة وناكل شوية وافل بآيس كريم في جليم. Or I would try something else. I'd say, okay, ناكل بيض, or I'd run, or I'd make the food and then I'd take off and be like, والله لازم أروح أجيب قهوة من السوبر ماركت ولا حاجة. So I'd run away from what maybe was missing from the food. So what you might be running away from is from what's missing in your life, and you're keeping yourself busy by just, you know, it could be anything, ladies. It could be something that's even not good for you, like smoking, for example, or like drinking too much coffee for the day, just something that makes you feel, or eating. It could be also it could be, like I said, any kind of a habit that you feel like, okay, this is going to keep me, or just keeping extremely busy, you know, just like, okay, let me go on the internet, or let me go watch TV at the same time. Let me just do things so I don't have to think about what's missing in my life, and so I won't really have to do anything about it. So one thing I want you to do this week is really take time for yourself. This is something that's really very difficult to do in this part of the world. What's so interesting is that judging from the different countries that I've lived in, people in Toronto especially are extremely busy. It's insane. Like, you're even too busy to do simple basic things sometimes, like taking a shower. You know, you're like, oh my God, like, when's the last time that I bathed, took a bath? You know, it's pretty awful to say. Or when's the last time that, you know, I sat down and looked at a fashion magazine or something, or just read a book to my child, or even, you know, wrote an email to my mom, or called my girlfriend back, you know, or it's that basic that, you know, you're kept so busy that you're so busy too. A lot of us women, we just spend the whole time giving to everybody else, and at the end of the day, you're sitting there, you're like, I don't have anything for myself. But that's what you have to figure out, is what do you want, and how can you find the time to give yourself those things, rather than keeping yourself so busy not to think about what's missing in your life. And that's really causing these poor habits and the cycle to keep going and going. So that's the one thing that I want to talk to you about, is just really thinking about what's missing. ممكن يبقى الفول, but I doubt it, because there's very few people on this earth that don't know how to make food, okay? Especially when they have, like, Arab and part Egyptian blood. But it's really just think about what's missing. Now, I do have to mention on this video that I'm very excited about this page. I'm really excited about making a difference in your life and helping as in any way that I can. And Rania Yunus and I are putting together this meeting with Michael Couteau, and this is one of the steps where we can help find what's missing in your life is by speaking to other members of the community on about their lives and what they did to get things together in their lives and share, because sharing is the basis for transforming your own life. So once I put this meeting up, ladies, I really, 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 really want you to come. Whether you are, looking for a job, whether you're not, whether you've been here in Canada for 6 months, whether you've been here for 10 years or born and raised here, come and support your community. You can meet some wonderful human beings, and let's show each other how we are here for one another, because we cannot do things alone. It's much more difficult, and you don't need to. We're not on this world alone, and let's show that kind of support. So I'm going to leave you at that. I'd love to hear from you and what you're doing to find out what's missing, and let me know what happens, okay? Have a great week. Bye.